So, have you experienced a time in your life that you felt as if you were a young child again? That you were stuck somewhere back in time, frozen in this space? Like you're a grown adult, but either in public or around family, all of a sudden, you're 5 years old, you're 8 years old again. Have you ever felt that way? I mean, many times I've been in this situation. And I'll share a brief example of this, part of this story here. So I'm in this grocery store. It's sort of like Walmart. It's called Fred Meyer's out here on the West Coast. And I'm getting some office supplies, pens, paper, something like that. Okay, so as I'm getting my office supplies, near those aisles are the toy aisles. So I wander over there, walk down the toy aisle, and I stop in front of the stuffed animal section. And I'm mesmerized by these stuffed animals. Like, I am frozen in place looking at them. Jesse's no longer here. All right. There's a very young part in me showing up looking at these animals. As another part steps in and is screaming at me, dude, this isn't safe. We can't let this little one out in public. Someone is going to think you're strange or weird or, who are you? You're a 40-some-year-old adult male staring at stuffed animals. Like, what's wrong with this dude? Right? Get him out of here. Well, that caused, this younger part of me that just wanted to have this experience of looking at the toy aisle, a lot of shame because he felt humiliated. Like, why can't I be here? What am I doing wrong? I'm doing something wrong. I've messed up again. The tension between the parts, right? And being so blended in that experience that the outside world looking in, all they see is an adult. They're not able to see beyond and recognize, oh, there's a small child here. What do they need? Right? Many times of, people thinking that, well, you can just take care of yourself. You can just get on. What's wrong with you? Why are you frozen in place? Why aren't you walking through the door? Why aren't you, getting in the car? Why aren't you whatever? Because you're frozen, stuck back in time somewhere. So, going back to the last podcast about pendulation, about swinging back and forth between two different sensations inside of your body, with the hypervigilant part always scanning for this sense of danger, and going to a place of safety where you feel very grounded and swinging back and forth. What we're going to talk about today is being in two places at once, very much like, pendulation. In that moment in the grocery store, as I'm staring at these stuffed animals, it's really hard for me to ground myself, to be in a safe space and be in this place of really just curious and this playful part inside of me, and then this tension of like danger, 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 danger. I guess what I'm trying to describe here is like it's hard for me to ground into that and be at both places at once because I'm in the store. It's not safe to be in the store. I don't know who else is around me. I'm in public. There's a lot of bright lights. There's stuff going on. It's just not a great place to just do inner work and let's travel back in time, right? So in that moment of like, okay, stepping in, doing some self-leadership, we're getting ourselves out of the situation. We'll go on, getting our supplies and get out of the store. But not letting the experience go. See, I think everything in life, like for the most part, things in life, your experiences in life there's so much to learn and develop from, right? And it's easy to forget them. I mean, I have a hard time with memory, right? So it's easy for me to keep going on throughout the day and just let that go, sweep that under the rug. We're just moving on along. And there's also parts that step in that want to dissociate, want to distract, want to forget that, don't step into that territory, so on and so forth. Like, it's better left not going back there. So as I get home, what do? We sit and pause in this place of safety. Just like nature's very safe for me to be in, to regulate my nervous system, because nature doesn't care. Nature just is. It's not there judging me, who I am, or what I'm going through, or anything. So I feel really safe out there. So, in the same way of being home in a safe environment, you know, being able to control my environment, the sounds, the noises, the light, so on and so forth, pausing, stepping back into that experience. Just like this comes up a lot with, you know, with coaching and doing therapy, of parts of people are really afraid for other parts to be blended with them because they're afraid of what that part is going to say, where that path is going to lead in their story. Do they have enough capacity in the nervous system to be able to handle it emotionally? These type of things, right? So in order to do it in the coaching therapy section of like, let's dive into this stuff, it takes the everyday practice. And this is what I'm trying to describe here, of like, this is an experience that came up for me. So how do I use this? How do I work with this to develop my parts, to really know more about myself? Okay, so I create a safe space. I'm at home. I go back to, what was the sensation in the grocery store? What happened? Let's break it down in the moments of what actually occurred. All right, I turn down the aisle. I see the stuffed animals. I am fixated. All right, who's here? Who's so curious about these stuffed animals? Oh, that's you. I know you. You're 8 years old. You walk around in my internal world with, you know, toy cap guns, cowboy style, you know, playing cowboys and Indians. I know you. You just wanted to play, didn't you? Yes, I just wanted to play. I wanted one of the stuffed animals. They were bright blue, and I just wanted to pick them up and hold them. Yeah, totally. That makes a lot of sense to me. Validating their experience, acknowledging their presence. And then what happened? And then this other guy came in and was yelling at me. Yeah, how did that make you feel? I felt humiliated. Yeah. Like you did something wrong and you weren't doing anything wrong. I just want to assure you, you were doing nothing wrong. You just want to look at the stuffed animals. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, doesn't matter. Looking at stuffed animals is neither good, bad, right, or wrong. There's no harm in that. You're not harming anybody else. You're not harming yourself. You didn't do anything wrong. So there's no shame in that. Now I'm gonna talk to this other part that stepped in, you know, that humiliated you because he wanted to keep you safe somehow. I understand you didn't believe he wanted to keep you safe because you were just feeling humiliated. All right. So turning back and focusing in. This other part of me. Okay. Who stepped in? And, you know, I get it. I get you were trying to keep us safe. You're trying to move us along to the store so we weren't stuck. I totally understand. That was your intention. Okay. Yeah, I know you. Yep, you tend to shut off the switches. Yep, I gotcha. So you're afraid of the humiliation, but yet you're humiliating. Yep, that makes a lot of sense to me. Thank you for trying to keep us safe, but you understand your tactics are hurting this other part. Well, yeah, but there's no other way to do it. Okay. What if there is another way to do it? Well, I didn't think of that. I know. Do you trust me enough that there's another way to do it to let me lead in that situation? Not really. Okay. I'll take not really. I get it. It's going to take a while for you to trust me. But next time it comes up, if I show you in action, will you trust me a little bit more? And as right now, let's do this. Let's let you meet this young cowboy part of me and just get to know them. How about that? Okay. Do you trust me enough to get to work with him for a minute? Yeah. Okay. You can watch, and thank you for giving me some space here. This is kind of getting in deep. I'm already going into this a little bit in depth right now. So I don't want to get too caught up into doing parts work on myself while I'm speaking here. But I am trying to give you a window into what is it like with me behind the scenes. What is this like really doing this on a daily practice? So when I worked more with the cowboy, he led me back more into story of other instances that had happened, right? Not all young parts carry a lot of trauma, a lot of weight. This part does not carry a lot of weight. He's very playful and curious part. He's a very childlike part. Other parts that are younger are the ones carrying the weight of his story. He carries the story isn't all right. The story as in like experience, not no imagery, not the experience, not the emotional weight, not the actual experience of it. It's more of just like, these are the facts of stuff happened. Now I'm going to go play, that type of thing, right? And this is what this other protector part was so afraid of, because in ways he holds a key, this young cowboy part holds a key to the other parts, because there's this sense of safety in him, because there's nothing, he's not carrying a lot of emotional weight. He's very playful, childlike. So let's tap into his resources. He's a sense of safety for other parts, and this other part knows it, that wants to protect, that it's leading down this path of, we're going to open up boxes here. It's going to get crazy. Before we get there, we're just going to humiliate and shame this one part and just quiet it up and move on along. And then we're going to bring in other parts to dissociate and forget about it. It's like, no. Slow all that down. There's no fear. Whatever's inside of me, I'm not afraid of. It can't harm me. I mean, yes, it's still going to be hard and difficult. It's not going to be easy. But just knowing I'm not going to die from the experience. I can handle it. I have tools. I've expanded my window of capacity to going back there in time and working with these parts. So much, of being human and being in a survival state of just trying to get by, trying to keep going in life. There's so many missed opportunities of turning back towards yourself first, of loving yourself first, of having more compassion for yourself first. And what that looks like in small pieces is acknowledging these parts of you and not running away from them. Of when I feel like I'm 8 years old and I'm in a store, paying attention to that so that I get to know those parts better. And then I can communicate to others around me better and not be afraid to. When I started being able to communicate to friends, to group members, to other people in my life, that I had enough trust, not all the trust, not all the safety, but there was some established trust and safety built. When I was able to start communicating with them, hey, I have these parts. hey, right now there's a part showing up and I feel really young right now. That is terrifying. That's terrifying. This isn't easy. This is hard in the experience. But again, this is practice. If I could do it on my own, I could do it with other people. So as I was able to communicate that with other people in the situation of like, hey, I have a really small part showing up. I feel really young right now. Watching other people's reactions to me on their face, reading their body language, was telling me, okay, I'm here right now. I'm here with you. This isn't too much. You're not freaking me out. This isn't scary to me. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I'm here with you. The relief. That sense of connection. Again, healing always goes back to connection. Building those bridges of connection. That's exactly what part's needed, is that little cowboy part showing up, or whatever else young part showing up, being met by another individual. They're saying, no, you're not too much. I'm right here with you. It's okay. It's okay. Now, are the other parts, the protectors, the inner critic, part in me that wants to shut off the lights, turn off the TV, shut off everything, disconnect? Are parts that are protective still going to show up? Still going to have inner voices, inner dialogue of you of like, nope, it's not safe. Don't trust this, so on and so forth. Yeah. This is working with the system. You're not trying to push them away or where they don't come in and have a voice. Like, everyone here is welcome at the table, right? It's not like they're going away just because, a younger part of you is now being acknowledged and accepted and there's healing taking place. In fact, sometimes they might turn up the volume a little bit more because usually there's a lot more pain underneath that still needs healing, right? Again, this all takes time to peel apart these layers and get into the deeper work. What I'm trying to describe here is more of an everyday thing that comes up that's like, how do we deal with this? I mean, you know how long it took for me to just come out of denial and admit to myself of like, oh, I have really young parts of me that show up and they are very active, as in like, I'm showing up like I am 8 years old right now. I didn't want to admit that to myself. And I was terrified of other people witnessing this because that left me exposed and vulnerable, much like a rabbit in an open field. I mean, there are birds of prey, there are raptors flying around. Not very safe for a rabbit to be in an open field. But that's how I felt. So exposed. I'm sure you have felt like that before. Yeah? And there is no shame in feeling that way. It's acknowledging, I feel this way. Who is here feeling this way? What part of me is here? What is your story? What are the characteristics you can describe to me? What do you look like? What is your name? What is your age? Who do you know else inside here? It's being curious because like the young part of you might feel very vulnerable and afraid and terrified. They most likely do. But I truly believe that everyone has the courage inside of them to step forward, step towards them, and give them the compassion and the nourishment to help cultivate courage inside of them. You showing up to them and saying, hey, I see you, I'm here with you, I'm not leaving you in this experience. is building that bridge of I'm lending you my compassion and courage. Can you learn from me and develop? You can have courage too. You do not have to be afraid to sit here, or rather stand, in the middle of an aisle and look at toys. So, with all this, many times, most of the time, all the time, really, of me doing this, I don't even know what I'm like. It's hard for me because I get caught up in the experience and trying to describe it to others at times, because I really want to let you in on behind the scenes and what does this really look like in practice, so that you can start practicing on yourself and not feel so alienated or alone, and like, I'm the only one that talks to myself. I'm the only one that has these experiences. No, you're not alone. This is what it looks like behind the scenes. This is what I do, in real everyday life practice. This is what I help others along in their journey of creating a safe space so that they can experience this and help lead them through this process of doing it. You're not alone. I really hope this helps some people connect with parts of you, and if it does, if this resonates with you, if, please like the YouTube videos. It helps me, leaving a review on the Spotify or the Apple podcast thing really helps me of spreading this message around to other individuals. I really appreciate it. I really thank you for your time. I know you don't ever know where any of this is going with my conversations, but I really appreciate you being here. So thank you.